We are Red Weather Christians.
I'm Jen.
I'm Steve. We are expats living in Spain, trying to restore faith in humanity, one story at a time.
On this season of Red Weather Christians, we'll be highlighting the feel-good stories that make us smile and remind us of the good in humanity.
We hope that as you listen, you become more mindful of the good, and that if you don't see it,
you do it.
Or you be it. So as you may know from the last episode, we have moved into a house.
A new house in Spain.
Which is in a new pueblo of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
And that means it comes along with all the new house, new town...
stuff.
Yes, for lack of a better word, stuff.
Yeah, because there's just so much. I mean, it's a lot. There's a lot going on. And when we moved into this house, there was nothing.
Zero furniture except for a couple of scraps that were left.
Yeah.
Plastic chairs.
Yeah. We're talking no refrigerator either. I mean, we knew that there might not be a fridge when we got in.
Among other things that we don't have. Beds. Other appliances.
A couch. Seating.
So what we're trying to do is we're looking for the good. Now, we had prepared to move in, so we had looked at secondhand stores early, before we moved.
Right. We're trying to do the right thing. We're trying to be prepared, be good people, be ready to go.
And we had set up deliveries for the day we would be moving in, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Right.
So we're like, we'll just give ourselves a day cushion so that it'll arrive the next day.
Yes, because we were supposed to be in the house on a Thursday. And so we had set for delivery a few things on the following Friday, the next day.
Yes, actually it was supposed to be on a Wednesday. And we set things for Friday.
Really?
Which was fortuitous. Oh. Because we didn't actually get into the house until Thursday. And then we got stuff started to deliver on Friday and Saturday. But while this part seems normal, it's also the weekend starting this huge celebration, festivities here in Valencia called Fallas.
Yeah, and so things are closed or closing early. People don't want to do any work. They are just ready to celebrate, shoot off fireworks, and drink beer and have fun.
Yes. So we had set it for the Friday morning, which would have been fine. That would pretty much be the last day you get delivery. Maybe Saturday morning, because by Saturday afternoon, everything's done.
Done.
You're just
done.
So that part did end up working out all right.
Yeah, it was okay.
And so we're looking for the good in this situation because every time we had to order something or deliver something...
or go into a secondhand store and talk to another human...
it was another lesson in Castellano.
Yes. In learning the language. And we started just seeing it that way. And I started just saying talking about errands, this or that. Oh, let's go have our Spanish lesson today because we have to go to the grocery store. Or, whatever. We have to go figure out how to get the gas station loyalty card so we can get a free car wash on Tuesdays and Saturdays if we spend 30 euros.
Which is easy.
Yes, but just little lessons.
All good things. And so many of these things just end up happening. We get into a situation, I'm trying to buy a TV and a dishwasher and a washing machine, and Jen's overwhelmed enough, whatever. She just sends me and says, go get these things.
At that point, yes. I was like, please just make it happen. Please do not come home without having bought a dishwasher, please.
So some of these things you can't just pick up.
No. Oh, no.
And you can't get delivered right away. It has to be some other time. You have to talk to someone. So there I am. I'm like, yeah, I want this and this and this. And the lady at the store, was very kind and worked with me. And she made sure to put things on paper, not writing it out, but print something out and show me this is what you're buying. Are you really going to spend this? I'm like, yes.
Yeah, furnishing a new empty house.
Casa nueva y necesito más. Mucho.
Todo.
And she would say, vale, which is just okay. And she started to understand. And so I would then have to give the address, what time of day, what day, all the things in Castellano.
Yeah.
It's a lesson.
Yeah.
In how to relate to people. And there's a lot to be said about how you speak with someone, how you communicate with someone with context. So within context, I could understand most of what she was saying because it's about a delivery, it's about a place, it's about when or where or how. What floor is it? Planta baja? Or what apartment is it? Mm-hmm. Is it high? Do you have an elevator? Do we need to bring 5 guys to bring these things in? Do you need installation? So there's also context that really helps with communication.
Right. Which is a little different than when you're just doing Spanish lessons on an app or something and it's just random. Some of the random stuff I get on Duolingo, let me tell you. Oh, man.
Which you don't know that you're going to use it, but you will use it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to use all this stuff.
I used Madrugada this morning.
Yeah. Rabbit hole.
We
often find ourselves in rabbit holes, so that one works.
Different kinds, not real rabbit holes.
I don't know. We're doing really well today, though. We recorded earlier this morning. We went on a run, came back, took showers, went to do an errand, and now we are back and recording a second episode in a single day. We're on a roll.
For the next part of this podcast episode, we're going to talk about other parts of the podcast and things that we are planning to do in the future of today.
Basta.
Anyway, so we're just going to walk you through some fun things that we've done in our new pueblo for our new house.
Woohoo! That
are all lessons, and to kind of look at them, even if you're doing it in your native language and in a town that you're used to, as an opportunity.
Opportunity to interact with people, opportunity to be kind, because you are in control of your own actions. Okay, people, my California people, you're going to the DMV, okay? Nobody wants to go to the DMV. We hate the DMV, right? Maybe we could change our mindset and just realize, these people are working at the DMV. It's probably not their dream job. Let's just be extra kind. Let's control our kindness to them at least. They may not be kind back to you. Whatever. You do what you can do and let the rest go. Do your best and forget the rest.
That's from Paw Patrol, everybody. Marshall says that. Marshall, the fire dog.
Oh, wow.
That tells us, and you, what era of parenting we grew up in. We missed Bluey. Bluey was a little bit too late for us. Mm-hmm. We were Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
I wish we were Bluey because I saw a couple episodes and it was better.
Oh, really? I try to avoid watching kids stuff at all costs.
In Spanish or in Castellano?
Es mejor.
Es mejor.
Any kind of immersion is good.
So here we are. We can walk to all of these places. So good thing number 1, we're walking.
Yes. Well, let me just back up 1 second here and say, I, as a human, do have a tendency to become overwhelmed easily. The first few months of living in Spain, I feel like my hair was falling out. I was stressed out. I mean, when we first moved here, we didn't have any kind of visa. We were just on a tourist visa, and that was a whole stressful situation. Okay, well, we got through that. Yay. We have our official documents. Wonderful. So it's been a lot less stressful. However, big move to a new house. It's a completely unfurnished, a little stressful. So I am just sitting over here trying not to become overwhelmed. I am trying to come up with coping mechanisms. I am trying to do some mind control. And so I start telling myself, it's okay, Jen. It's just going to be a Spanish lesson. You don't need to be scared. It's just your Spanish lesson for the day to go to the Sociales building to inquire about the Familia Numerosa card that we might want to get, right? Because otherwise I'd just be nervous Nelly. Oh, I might say something wrong. I don't want to do it. I don't want to interact with humans.
Yeah. And that's the other problem with our life right now. We aren't really compelled to do anything that we don't have to do or that we don't want to do. We
set our lives up to retire early so that we wouldn't have to be beholden to other people. And here we are.
Yes. So every chance we get, we now look at these errands as opportunities. A good thing.
Yes.
So one of the great things about Little Rafa Buñol is it has a library.
Yeah. That was another thing before we moved here that we saw that we're yes, it has a great big park and it has a library. Not every pueblo has one.
That's correct. So even before we moved, we did bike over and we inquired at the library, how do you get a library card?
Yeah. Right.
But of course, we have to speak in Castellano because that's how it works. That's how most work. We could have spoken in Valenciano if we knew how, because all of the official documents here are also in Valenciano. Or
Right. They're in both. Because we're in a small pueblo. We are not in the city of Valencia. Let's just be clear. We're on the metro line, but we are not in the city of Valencia, the city proper.
So when we say small, it's about 9,000 total people in this pueblo. But less than a mile away is another 9,000 pueblo.
Yeah.
And less than a mile in a different direction is another maybe 15,000 person pueblo.
Yeah, which is kind of great, though, because if our pueblo doesn't have, like, say, a Mercadona, which is a grocery store that I really like, we can just go pop over the next pueblo over so I can do my Mercadona shopping. It's great. It's some great skincare.
Yeah.
The best peanut M&Ms there.
Other than actual peanut M&Ms.
No, they're better because they don't have, like, the really fake bad coloring.
No, the peanut M&Ms here don't have that.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
But, no, I'm saying...
What? Who? Where?
You're saying the brand name, peanut M&Ms. We're saying chocolate, candy-covered chocolate peanut M&M.
Ah, gosh, you can't even say it.
Candy-coated chocolate peanuts.
When I say peanut M&Ms, everybody knows what I'm talking about, okay? Moving on.
So, Jen mentioned Sociales. That's a social services place that's on the other end of town. Yeah, maybe a half-mile walk away.
Yeah, the other end of town, it takes how many minutes to actually get there?
From the Ayuntamiento. And the Ayuntamiento was... Here's the other thing with going to the Ayuntamiento to get our empadronamiento.
Empadronamiento.
They were all very, very nice. And they said, go to the other end of town, go to Sociales. We got there. They're fairly nice, but they're not understanding our question.
Yeah.
So we had to go there, and we got some information. And then I read the information, and I go, oh, shoot.
We need to go back.
I don't have what I need for this.
Yeah.
So we go back. By this time, I'm sure they recognize us from a week prior.
Oh, yeah.
And
here come the idiots again.
Giddies. We try to start the conversation about this familia numerosa, and they're like, no, you blah, 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 something. I don't even really understand what they're saying. And then Jen pipes in.
Yeah. No, they were asking like, oh, no, you have to do this step first. I'm like, no. That's what we're trying to do right now. We are trying to do that step right now. That is what we want to do. And they're like, no, you have to do that first. I'm like, but that's what we're trying to do. Oh.
So...
I had to get a little assertive, actually.
They were very kind. They still were kind, but it was because of miscommunication. So finally, through using Castellano, we communicated, we need this thing. And they said, oh, well, let's set up a time. And they got out their logbook using pen and paper and wrote down our appointment time.
Yes, for like 2 weeks later. And mind you, there's not a single other soul in this building. Like, there's no line. There's nothing happening. It looks like they're on a break. Oh, it's just funny to me. Let me tell you, this might be another episode, but Spanish people do not live to work.
Definitely not.
Absolutely not. It is just the means to an end. They work to live. Living life is what they want to do, and eat food and drink wine and hang around and take siestas.
Yes. And speaking of hanging around, every time, because we had to go back to the Ayuntamiento, which is basically City Hall or the place where documents are processed and more official things are done, there are old people just sitting on benches.
I think they're the same ones every time.
This is what they do with their life.
Oh, yeah. It's
Which
a good
is,
life.
They could be retired. They might not be. Whatever. Doesn't matter to me. It's fun to kind of just see them hanging out with each other.
Well, this is going back to our other episode of, like, they probably live in an itty-bitty apartment. And why would they just hang around inside the apartment? They just go outside. It's beautiful weather here. They sit on a bench and they see people they know. They people watch. They probably look at us like, what the heck are we doing here? We live here now.
Yay! And now they've seen us plenty of times, so I'm sure they've got
theories.
Theories, but I was saying lots of fodder at this point.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there they go that way again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're back at the Ayuntamiento again. Wait, what did they forget this time?
Aw, I think about my dad. He would love the culture here. He loved sitting out front in his little lawn chair and just people watching and saying hi to the neighbors. And it's so great. Anyway, so one of the things when we went to the Ayuntamiento is it's such a small town that rarely are there lines any of these places that we go, which is really quite nice. But we didn't bring all the documents one of the times that we needed to get the empadronamiento. And so the lady's like, okay, well, just leave your like TAs here, your identification cards. I'll make the photocopies of those. You go, bring your birth certificates, come back. And so we just literally left some of our stuff with her, walked back to our house, walked back over to the ayuntamiento, and handed her the birth certificates, and bada bing, bada boom.
Yep.
Small town for you. You gotta love it.
And then because it's just a slower paced life, even though, we're checking, we're signing things should be right. And we spell Ezekiel, for Shade's middle name, differently in the United States.
Yeah, they really, here in Spain and in Ecuador, just a Spanish-speaking cultural thing, I don't know. They want to spell Ezekiel with a QU in the middle of it.
Instead of a K.
Yeah.
So I noticed it was spelled incorrectly, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'll go fix that right now. You can sign the other ones, but don't sign that one. We'll just fold this up, get rid of it. And so people making mistakes, it wasn't a big deal. There wasn't a big line that we were holding somebody up.
But all that to say, like, we sometimes I get overwhelmed with, like, okay, I have to go speak Spanish, I might make a mistake, but, like, here is another human, and she made a mistake too. Like, we all make mistakes. It's just a matter of, like, being okay with it, doing your best, and, moving along.
And for us, every time. So even telling her,
yeah, I know, even just saying that is like, okay, how do I say this? How can I communicate this?
And it's helpful. It's good practice, good to learn things. Learn a hard thing, right?
Learn a hard thing. We've talked about it before. Yeah. Learn a hard thing.
So also, you think of grocery stores. You're like, oh, that's just another task to do.
Right.
Go get the groceries. Mm-hmm. Well, for starters, there's a grocery store so close to our house that we don't really need to keep a whole lot in the house.
No, it's kind of like we can just view the grocery store as our pantry.
A very large
refrigerator.
Pantry. Mm-hmm. And we can send the boys to it.
Oh, love that. Go get my stuff.
Kind of odd. They haven't figured out that they could probably do other things with the credit card, but we can just send them with a credit card.
Yeah.
And tell them what to get. And they can just scan the credit card. No signature. It's obviously not me or Jen.
Right.
And they walk out with it, all the stuff.
Yeah. But the stuff, what is the stuff? Like, apples, an onion, a thing of milk.
A bag of salad.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And maybe multiple times in the same evening.
So it's not like they're going in, they're grabbing 20 candy bars.
But they don't
mommy and daddy's credit card.
But they don't even try to get one candy bar.
I think that they would let them get 20 candy bars if they came in with mommy and daddy's credit card.
Don't know. But for us, they do have loyalty cards, so we have to get one of those. To get one, we have to say, one,
we want a card.
How do we get a... Because they always ask, like, ¿Tienes tu tarjeta de whatever store it is? Store. And we're like, no, we don't. But wait, how do we get one?
Yeah.
So then we have to fill it out. And sometimes the forms here in this pueblo are in Valenciano, so we have to be able to read that well enough.
Well enough.
But learning, right?
Yeah.
So we're also in this wonderful pueblo. We've mentioned the things that are very close to us within walking distance, but it's all great if you know how to use it. How do we know how to use it?
We go and try and talk and make mistakes and maybe look like idiots. Definitely look like idiots. But we get out there.
So we had already played paddle, but we didn't know how to play paddle. Our neighbors who had already lived here for a while had reserved the cord and had the equipment for playing paddle. And we were like, well, how do we do that? So one day we just walked into the polysport place and I said, I have lots of questions. And the guy said, in Castellano, I have a few answers.
Yeah. It was a joke.
It was funny and we got to laugh with them.
Yay.
That was fun.
Oh, also, we came in saying like, hey, we're new to Raffle Buñol. And he's like, yeah, I know. Because like everybody here knows everybody.
Like, I don't know you.
Yeah, like we don't know you. So obviously you're new.
And maybe it was just more specific, like we're new to the polysport. Like, yeah, we don't know you. You're not a member here. Anyway, The good of that? More learning.
Yeah.
They have a pool. It's really close. They have paddle. It's really close. They have a basketball court, which is fairly close, closer than the other ones that are nearby. And I asked, so do you have to reserve the court or anything? And he goes, if the door's open, it's just free.
Just go in.
Just play if you want, shoot around. But they don't have an actual basketball class or course or team here. Mm-hmm. Totally fine. But we also asked them, hey, where can we sign our kids up for football, soccer, for the Americans listening?
Yeah. He's like, oh, you have to go to the other Poly Sports Center on the other side of town. We're like, oh, okay.
So what do?
We walk over.
Because the town, it's not that big, so we just walk over there. And it's middle of the day, so kids are at school. We're doing all these errands. And we get in there.
This place is like ghost town. It's awkward. But like the gate is open. It's like the lights are on, but no one's home. So we walk in. We're like, oh gosh, there's like a building over here with doors. Could that be an office? Should we like go open the door and knock? Like, I don't want to do that. Let's just keep walking in. So we ended up walking into like the bar because there's always a bar.
Cafe.
There's always a bar everywhere. And there was a bartender there. And so we were speaking to him and he's like, well, I don't really know because I'm just the bartender. And we're like, we know, but maybe you might know someone we could talk to. And then a lady came in and she's like, oh, just come back at like 6 tonight. There will be people here at 6. And we came back that night and it was like bumping. And then we felt out of place again because it's like everybody's there and everybody just knows exactly what they're doing. And we're just like, oh, boop, 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 boop. We don't really know. Like,
keep in mind, when we came back, Jen is saying she didn't go.
Oh, I didn't.
I went back with Asher.
But I've been there at night and it is absolutely bumping and everyone's just like with their people, having fun. And here we are.
So I knew his name was Pablo, the director of football here in Rafa Buñol. I didn't know who Pablo was. I didn't know how to find him. Asher and I are standing around. Asher's uncomfortable. He doesn't like the situation. He's like, we should just leave. Like, I don't know. No, I came here. We're going to talk to Pablo. So I just kept looking like, okay, it looks like these people in these uniforms are kind of coaches. I'll just ask one of the coaches. And Asher, if I get in trouble, you can speak up because you speak Castellano better than I do.
Yeah, he definitely does.
And he's like, no. He was mute. Zero help for the first half of this until we actually got to Pablo. But this guy was super nice. That's the other thing. When you actually get out of your comfort zone and you talk to a human being and they see that they can be helpful to you.
People love being helpful. Are you kidding me? I think that's like such a gift that people enjoy giving. You know, if you ask them a question that they know the answer to, people tend to like to talk to you.
Yeah. And
even if there's a language barrier, you know.
And these are just all little things that we're doing throughout the town. I mean, we can keep talking about this, just going out to eat or ordering food or asking, ¿Dónde están los huevos?
Okay, that's funny. We were in the grocery store and I was looking all over the place for eggs. I was like, where are the eggs? Oh my gosh, where are the freaking eggs? I have gone through every single aisle at this point, okay? So I'm like, Jen, just ask somebody. Just do it. And so there was a lady kind of near the like fish section, which is on the outer perimeter of the store. So I ask her, where are the eggs? And she laughs. And I was like, why is she laughing? And she points, and I am standing with my back to the eggs. Like, I'm right there. I'm maybe 2 feet away from them. They were on an end cap of an aisle, so I didn't look there. But boy, did I feel foolish asking where the eggs were. I was like, she's like, is that a joke? Are you joking? What? Yes. They're right there? No.
But look for the good here, Jen. She got to laugh, and we got the eggs.
But I need to be desensitized to the feeling of being an idiot. I do, because I don't like that feeling, and I need it sometimes so that I can just be in that feeling and know, like, hey, I'm okay. I'm okay. I feel like an idiot, but you know what? I'm okay. Life is going along just fine, and I'm okay. I think a little lesson for all of you listeners out there, is if you are living in a country where you speak the language, it's your native language, why don't you just feel a little bit more comfortable doing your errands? Because we sure don't, but you can. And isn't that a lovely gift? Isn't that nice? When we go back to the States, we're like, oh my gosh, everything's so easy. We can take a breath, like just relax. We can ask any questions that we want. We can say whatever we want. It's crazy. We can, if we want to, we can chat with the people in line at the grocery store. We can do that.
Yeah.
Wow. Because we don't do that here.
Yeah, we can understand what they say to us.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
So listen, maybe see this episode as a little motivation for you to enjoy your errands a little bit more. Don't see them as these
menial tasks.
Yeah, don't see them as menial tasks. Like, don't feel burdened with them, but, enjoy, relax, chat with people.
Or take a page out of the Dutch grocery chain that decided to create slow checkouts.
Oh, these are so great.
This came through one of your Upworthy something.
Good news movement. You got one of those things I follow on Instagram.
Where for some people, usually older people, they want to stand and chat while they're checking out at the grocery.
Yeah. So in many stores, they're starting to do very automated checkouts, self-checkouts, where you can go in a store, do all your shopping, buy everything, and leave without interacting with a single person. So I think they were trying to combat that because they understand that people need contact with other people. And so they created these checkout lanes where there'd always be a human there to chat with whoever wanted to chat.
Purposefully chatting.
Yeah.
They were taught how to do their job and what questions to ask and talk about more than maybe just the weather. Just to interact and have a little bit of social connection to this world.
Yeah. Because we're all humans. You go into a grocery store and you're like, well, why would I say anything to the cashier? Why would I do that? You don't have to have some long, deep conversation, but just recognition that the cashier is a human beyond being a cashier. I think that feels good.
And that brings us to our last little bit of this house. We had to get internet, which meant that I had to go to the other town that's a mile over and schedule a time for someone to set up our internet at our house. And then we had to have that person come to our house. And then this guy spent hours fishing new lines through our house, whatever, pulling wires here and there.
He was out on the street.
So the hookup is, out on the street, and then pulling new cables through everywhere, because I guess we got a higher quality line than was previously in here. Anyway.
I don't know.
He was here for a while. We weren't really talking with him. We were just letting him do his job. But eventually, he asked, could he have some water?
Oh my God.
And we felt so bad. We didn't offer him any. It's like, wait, there's a human in our house working, sweating because it was hot, and we didn't offer him anything. But we should. Yeah.
Well, we tried to. The next time we had people coming in to deliver stuff from IKEA, they were delivering the wardrobe and a bed frame.
Lots of heavy stuff.
Yeah, lots of heavy
Very
stuff.
hot.
Like hoofing it up the stairs and everything. And so Steve had just recently made cookies. So we're like, let's set out some cookies and some glasses of water, because there were 3 guys.
2 guys.
Anyway, so we did offer them those, and they were like, we don't have time. We have so many deliveries today. And actually, the IKEA guy didn't speak Spanish very well. So we're wondering what country he's from. But I have to say, I think that's more of an IKEA thing, because all our other deliveries, which have been from secondhand stores, because that's what we try to do for the majority of furnishing our house, those guys were taking it easy. Yes, they were lifting heavy stuff and they were working, definitely getting the stuff out of the truck and bringing it in and setting it up. But they were just, that's what they were doing. They weren't in some huge hurry and rush. They did have other places they needed to go, but it wasn't like the IKEA people. So I felt a little bad.
Yeah, but we're learning to be better in this case. They can say no, but we at least offered this time.
Yeah, and we can't use the excuse of, we can't speak the language well, to not be kind and not offer them water.
Yeah, so these are things that we're learning to do good.
And the thing that we always try to do when we're in the States is when we go through a checkout line or anything, we say thank you, of course, but we use the person's name if they have a name tag. And we try to do that here as well, if they have a name tag. Or even I will ask the person, like, what is your name? And even if they say it really fast and I can't pronounce it quickly back, I have to believe that at least asking maybe makes them feel a little bit more like a human.
No, I'm thinking of when Asher was telling you something about some game and he used a piglin boots.
Yeah.
And you had to respond back with as many of the sounds that you heard.
I was in another room and he was talking about Minecraft stuff or something, and he was weird character names like
Piglin Brute.
Boots. That's what I heard. I was like, Piglin Boots. He's like, oh, okay. I was just trying to mimic like consonants and vowel sounds that I heard. No, I was thinking about when Asher was talking about the names of his brothers, and he was like, yeah, and my younger brother's name is Memphis. And this was when we were in Ecuador, but it happened again here in Spain. And the person thought that Asher's brother's name was Netflix. It's Memphis. And they heard Netflix, Memphis. Oh my gosh, so funny. Yes, we named our son Netflix. We love it so much.
That's a different way to interpret Netflix and chill.
I'll say that.
Well, how does he get his name?
Oh gosh.
Anyway.
So all this to say, we want to encourage you to get out there, go on your errands. Don't see them as burdensome tasks, but maybe as opportunities to show some kindness. Or maybe if you, like us, are in a country where the people do not speak your native language, you can see your errands as opportunities, as lessons to learn the language.
That's right.
We are Red Mother Christians.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Jen.
And remember, cheer the good.
Don't boo the bad.